I'm back. Sorry it was away so long. Stuff. But we're back here with a brand new video, and today we are talking about securing an SSH server. It is something very, very important, but very seldomly properly done. So let's get onto it. So we've got a terminal open. We're going to get onto the server now. So this is a brand new server from DigitalOcean. It's got SSH keys already loaded as part of the setup. So if you preload the SSH keys on DigitalOcean, is that you can add them onto a server when you commission the server. So we've got ahead and done that. So if we open up the SSH configuration for the server, is you'll see one of the nice things that they do is they've got this password authentication no. So this stops people logging in to SSH via passwords, which is one of the key things we want to do for security. The second thing that we're going to actually do now is we are going to change the default port. So you'll see this is commented. The default port for SSH is port 22, and we want to change that. So the way we change that is first uncomment that. Next we're going to do is we're going to add a random port, and the way that I do that is by just bashing out 4 random digits, and we're just going to put that somewhere. So we're going to call that port, and we're going to put that over there. So we're going to restart SSH now, and there we go, restarted. One of the things we're going to do is to make sure that we can get onto SSH or onto the server via SSH using our new port. So now that we're sure that we can still get onto the server, we can remove port 22. So one of the nice things you'll see about SSH is that by default, even if you change the port, if you already got a connection, it keeps your connection going. But let's, I think, kill that one to make sure that we're not running off of port 22 anymore. And new port. Okay, awesome. So we're running off of our new port. Port 22 is disabled. So the next thing we want to do is allow our new port. So let's see, UWF status. Okay, so first need to enable it. Yes, thank you. So cool, so now you can see our new port added to our firewall, and our firewall has been enabled. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to install a program called Fail2Ban. So what Fail2Ban does, it keeps monitoring your SSH log file for brute force attempts or people that try to log in but were unsuccessful, and you can configure it to some threshold. So the idea is that if somebody fails to log in, let's say in this case that they've got over here 5 times within 10 minutes, you ban them for another 10 minutes. So just to keep the sort of the brute forces away. The other reason why you would want to do this is to keep your traffic low, because what happens, the brute forces, they just constantly try to spam you, and by adding something like this is that you stop them from doing that, and then you save a bit on the network traffic on your server, and also the processing power your server needs to be able to process these failed connections. So now that we've got Fail2Ban, the next thing that we want to do is just keep following this tutorial. And by the way, I'll link the tutorial in the description of the video. So next thing that we've got here is that we want to edit the file. Now I like Vim, so I'm going to go to Vim, but if you like Nano, feel free to stick to Nano. And apparently I don't have Vim installed. Oh, I do, but anyway. So let's get onto this file. So cool, we got the file open. So one of the first things I want to do is just bring it down to 2 and bring it down to 1, and then increase the ban time to about 30. The reason for this is that we only use public keys. So anybody trying to access the server without the proper public keys will fail pretty much instantly, if it makes sense. As we don't want to joke around, because we're just not doing password authentication where people might mistype the password. Okay, so now that we've got that sorted, the next thing we want to do is go to systemctl, restart Fail2. Actually, just let's do something else first. Let's not just restart it for now. Okay. So the second thing to keep in mind is to go to this folder and then open this file. So by default, by the looks of it, if you install it on Ubuntu 18.04, it doesn't have the regex for dealing with fail public key authentication. So what I've got up here is I've got exactly that regex, and that will be in the description as well. So what this does, this checks for failed public key authentications and then just bans the person if they try to brute force their way onto the server. So let's see. So now we can actually restart Fail2Ban. There we go, restart it. Okay, so let's make sure that it's actually running. Still running, great. Okay, so Fail2Ban has got this log file, fail2ban.log. We are going to try to go to a little Bitcoin server I've got there. So that's just, it was an old training bot that's not running anymore that ran on this server. So what we're going to try to do now from this server is we are going to go to this IP, we're going to go to this port, and then we're going to see if we can get onto the server. So let's see what happened to Fail2Ban. So Fail2Ban says found one, and then that failed, and then we're going to try another, and then notice ban. So you can see there that that IP was banned. But one of the other things to keep note is that at the moment you can see this is still working. So the reason this is still working is that we want to also go to the gel.local file, and we want to go to the SSH settings, and we want to change this port to the one that we've been using, and that is that one. And now we're going to restart Fail2Ban again. We're going to tell the log again. We're going to see what's up. So yeah, you can see now our connections refused because Fail2Ban said that. And let's look at IP tables. And let's see, because it should be, oh, there we go. So reject, there we've got the source, destination, reject with, and there you go. So that's Fail2Ban with a custom SSH port and public keys only. Okay, I hope you guys found this useful. I hope you try to do something with this. If you like the video, please give me a like. If you want to see more videos, then please subscribe. I'll see you in a week's time in the next video.